Hey, down in front.
Beau
is afraid.
Mike's
biggest
been trying to
what
see
the
this for a while.
Yeah.
And
we did.
we did finally see it. It's a A24 film, one of my favorite studios.
turning into probably my favorite for this kind of movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right. This
Yeah,
is not
for-
general audience type movies.
This isn't a
No.
Michael Bay explosion movie.
Yeah.
No. Deep. Like I like to call this movie.
Easy, Skippy.
Deep.
This movie is, oh my god, it's very hard to kind of describe it. It's kind of like a thriller, dark comedy, horror, suspenseful.
Yeah.
It's a
Just
Fusion.
suspenseful puzzle of what the fuck.
really goes against
That's
the
the best way I
grain
can
a lot. I mean, it's very
Artistic.
yeah, but it's also very like it derails itself. There are sequences in there where it's very confusing.
Yes.
It's a movie that really does, after you watch it, it provokes thought.
I was gonna say it also comes with like, what the fuck? And then you think about it. And then you think about it and you think, you don't even have to think hard. It's just like, huh, okay. I said what the fuck 2 minutes ago. Now I'm like putting pieces of the puzzle together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Got it.
Well, and it's a movie that, you know, at least for me, it was interesting seeing a scene play out, and you would think that the scene would continue on, but then it would just switch to something
Completely.
completely very
Complete
jarring.
U-turn.
Jarring is a great word for this.
It's just like,
for this.
what?
Yeah.
That's
And
what I
we're
said.
off.
It's a
We're
complete,
running, dude.
It's a complete mixture of what the fuck and
And
okay.
just- yeah, right. And then you start settling in, and you're like, all right, so this is going on now. And wait. All right, now put that aside. We're going.
It's
I guess forget about whatever the
Yeah.
fuck's going on. Now we're on something new.
it really is truly one of the main reasons I love Ari Aster films.
Is that just the director?
Yeah, he was written and directed by him.
Did he
so
do the other A24 films?
He did Hereditary, and he also did Midsommar.
So, production company A24,
Correct.
director
Ari Aster.
Ari Aster.
Yeah.
That dude, my man, has an imagination.
Yeah. Well,
That
and
is, it's amazing.
Well,
it's
there-
amazing to watch those.
there's a lot of things that he incorporates into his films that are kind of consistent in every film that I've seen, especially like there's a sequence in Beau is Afraid where there's a play going on, and the film itself kind of like it almost feels like it gets sucked into that play.
Get put into the
And the
Yeah,
way
right.
the way that the play, just some of the props and stuff are built to look alive and moving and stuff is very Midsommar. And Hereditary. There are things like that in Hereditary as well, but it's just cool to see him. It's wild because like you could just tell he's getting better and better and better at it. And
It's either that or he's just going, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck.
well, I just think I
Yeah.
think
Budget, give me the budget, give me the budget.
I've watched a couple interviews with him recently talking about Beau is Afraid, and he was, just a couple honorable mentions here is that he basically had to prove himself to A24, A and B being Hereditary and Midsommar.
Why are you saying it different?
Because that's how he says it.
Okay,
how
that's
it's
how
That's
he
how it's
says it.
spelled too, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
Midsommar.
saying for the
Yeah.
past however many times we've said Midsummer.
It's summer.
Yeah,
You now
it's
say-
Midsommar.
Listen, look, I'm just that. I
Yeah,
was just curious.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I was just curious.
I've said it wrong
figured it was
for
Tyler
years.
being
we,
Tyler.
so then we have. I didn't
Yeah.
watch those
Yeah, yeah.
interviews. I didn't
No.
know how. Okay,
That's how he says it.
sorry.
So I was
Makes
like, oh
sense.
shit,
Yeah.
I was pronouncing
Sorry
it
for the
all wrong.
pause.
No, you're good. But yeah, so he basically had to prove himself to A24, saying like, these are my films and they rake in money. They did. And because he was able to build a success off of those two movies, A24 was like, here's $35 million. Just make whatever make this movie because he basically had that script for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Like you told me, like it was like that was his dream project or whatever.
Yeah, it was like a big passion project of his that he was trying to get made for a long time. Yeah.
He made it,
and I'm glad he did. Apparently, and just like we've heard about him before, but Joaquin Phoenix is in this film, and apparently, there were things in the film where he had to kind of meet with Joaquin and like, hone in on it, like because Joaquin kind of like absorbs the character that he's becoming. He lets himself literally become that character.
Oh yeah.
I really want to know how is he?
How are you doing after Joker and all?
Exactly. Like, to be honest, are you okay?
Yeah.
Well,
because
I think he relates to those characters.
Right.
I think he has a lot of
at the same time
anxiety and stuff.
if you just portray that and you
you're
like
embodying it,
like you said,
all the
he
time.
absorbs it, bro. Like, are you good? Are you okay?
Yeah.
I need to know
we need
that
to talk to you.
that you are like you're gravy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To play these two characters like this.
I mean, he's very eccentric.
Yeah.
He's a
Woman with
weirdo.
her
I would
and
not
all
be
that too, and
I would
just-
not be
Yeah.
surprised if he just like take a break.
Yeah.
Take
Well, I think he did for a little while. He had only been in before Joker. I'd
To
only seen
absorb
him in
that.
like Her, and
Yeah.
that was like that movie was like I think 2013.
So you can go.
It was older,
You can go
so-
way back to Gladiator.
Well, that and
Way back.
Signs. He
Right.
was in
Yeah,
Signs
yeah.
as
way
well.
back.
And I mean, in Gladiator, it's interesting because it's like if you watch him in Gladiator and then you watch him in something recently, even something like Her, you're like, dude, that's like not even
Not the same person.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So I mean, it's interesting. I mean, he's a very, very talented actor, and,
Yep.
and in this
Diverse.
movie, he was a treat on screen. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he was
He was a
just
snack.
Says
dude.
he killed it. Just
yeah, he really did.
believable.
Yeah, yeah.
For those
Sold.
for certain people, it's relatable,
That's right.
especially with the amount of anxiety aspect.
That's the thing, like how he portrayed some of like his manic parts and stuff like that. Like it was like, yeah, this dude is going through it right
He's going
now.
off the he's a little bit off the rails, off the res. Yikes, brother.
It's definitely
Doubt.
a movie where I found myself being like, "Yep, this is what it feels like when I'm getting manic and stuff like." I mean, it really does. The film does a crazy good job of depicting what somebody who is riddled with anxiety and what
Depictating.
that's just a word.
That's
now.
the word of the day is
Word-
depictating.
Webster
Yeah.
dictionary. This
But yeah, the only other movie I can honestly compare it to that is like Taxi Driver and Joker, where it's like they show anxiety, they show like mental health issues on screen, and it's like, yes, that is what it's like.
imagine
He did.
side by side Joker, Beau is Afraid, and it's just not I don't want to say bipolar. I'm saying like dissociative identity disorder.
Oh,
Right?
right, yeah.
So on one side he is Joker.
He's Joker, and on the other
Yeah,
side,
The
he's
other
Beau.
side he is Beau. Like
Yeah.
whoa.
Wouldn't want to meet that person.
No.
Not particularly. But
No.
yeah, no.
yeah, I mean listen, I've seen it twice now.
yeah.
I have a little bit different interpretation, I guess. Maybe like
You
again,
also
it's-
saw some I don't want to say conspiracy, but theories.
No, I haven't watched anything. This
thought
is
you said-
just
I thought you
no.
said
I
you
said
did.
I wasn't watching anything.
He
I
was
just wanted to
theorizing
stay on
himself.
my
Oh,
theory.
you were theorizing. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you
have
said
a
that you
theory. I
watched
wasn't gonna, and I still have.
Alright.
I haven't watched anybody else's take
Right.
on it because I didn't want it to.
I also didn't want you to
Influence
mention
mine.
it because I was like,
I know.
wanna
And I
hear
didn't
that
want it.
shit
I was
off the
gonna say.
cuff,
I
like,
was
straight
gonna
off the
save it
top.
too.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that. We'll get the spoilers, but
Right.
like. The fact that I liked it, I watched it the first time, and the first time you watch it, you're like, well, I don't even know what I just watched.
So as we're getting into a full synopsis, does he have a mental disorder?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do we know what it is?
I think it's schizophrenia.
Well,
but
You think? Okay.
let's do final verdicts and stuff.
Well,
before we talk about-
I was gonna say non-spoiler synopsis.
Oh, okay,
has
all
to,
right, all right.
He
Yeah.
has to get to his mother's house, who
yes.
she has. This is in.
we're going to
This
mom's.
is in the plot.
This
Like,
is in
I
the
know what
plot.
you're gonna say. Go
yes. So like, it's already been revealed. He has to get to his mother's house. She has, quote unquote, passed away. This is in spoilers. This is in trailers. This is in
ahead. Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Google plot reviews, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is his, I guess, manic,
Journey.
His journey.
His
manic
journey there.
journey to his mother's house. That is only, I'm gonna say, from the movie, about 8 hours driving.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I say only. but
not very
kinda
well.
far.
He was going to take a flight.
He was gonna fly, and he doesn't get too far, and then that person
and then
said it's
things-
only a
things
6-hour
going
drive.
off. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that far away, but that's essentially the movie in a nutshell. I guess if you take it away from it, is his journey to go back home.
To a
Yeah.
I mean, it was his mom's.
Funeral.
Yeah,
His
Before
mom's-
that.
oh yeah. Yeah.
It was-
he was going to his mom's
Mother's
house.
Mother's Day or her birthday, one of the two.
It
I
was the
think it was-
anniversary of the father dying.
yes, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah. So like the whole time it's going back home,
Yeah.
and hilarity ensues.
yeah.
What
Confusion ensues.
non-spoiler
confusion.
wise?
Mm-hmm.
What if any? What if any? Your Honor. What if any?
I said, what if any?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if anything in the movie? Like, what didn't you guys like? If there was anything you guys didn't like,
There was nothing I disliked.
really?
Yeah, I can't really
Yeah,
say I
I mean,
dislike anything
to be honest,
about it.
It wasn't like this is my favorite movie. This
Right.
isn't like this is the most anticipated movie for this year. I went into it very open-minded, had no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Did not dislike anything. I'm not saying this is the best movie of fucking 2023,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
right? Or anything like that, but I can't complain about anything.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
The
and
entire
I-
movie, I was like, what the fuck?
was locked in.
But at the same
That's
time,
what I liked about it.
completely locked in.
Yeah. That's I don't necessarily have any gripes either. The whole like somewhat unexplained thing is not a gripe to me because like it leaves interpretations and things like that.
dude.
It's unexplainable in a good way.
In a great way. Yeah.
Refreshing. Good.
So
Pink lemonade.
I guess mine isn't really like a gripe negative, really. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So I think I also went into this movie completely open-minded. I knew it was an Ari Aster film, so I figured I was probably going to like it. I kind of, just because I'm a big fan of his films that he's come out with, I felt like I kind of knew the vibe of what I was going to be in for. There were some parts where I was like, I was right. And then there were some parts with the vibe, I mean,
Yeah.
where there was some things where I was like, yes, that is Ari Aster at his core. Then there were some things where I was like, whoa, that definitely was, I'm not expecting that. I guess my negative, quote unquote, is also a positive for me. But I think the average viewer, if they go into this film, the jarring effect in the film throughout it is really, really punching that audience member in the face.
Of course.
And some people
General audience
are gonna go, I don't
like it."
know what the hell is going on in this film anymore. I'm turning it off.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
However, I like that.
Exactly.
Because I know Ari Aster, he does jarring stuff in his films, and I think that I like it. I think it's a breath of fresh air because it's like a 2001 Space Odyssey effect thing where you think you know what's going on, and then you're like, whoa, we're going in the wormhole. No, like, you know,
We're going down that road.
Yeah.
So I just think it's not necessarily a gripe, but I just think for suggesting the movie to people, it is kind of a little challenging because it's like I want you to watch it.
Yes.
But there is some sequences in here that might make you go, no, this is not for me.
Fair,
for a normie.
but also like it's. I'd preface it be like it's not just like a Transformers movie. Like this is an art piece, in movie form that you have to sit there and appreciate. And although you might be confused and like the jarring parts of it, like that's part of the experience of it. It's more of an experience and telling that story.
Bro, this movie, mind fucked me.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wasn't that big of a fan of those kind of movies until we watched Midsommar. Until I watched Hereditary. And then I watched it again, and I'm like...
And there's still things you can pick out of it.
The euphoria, like that my brain was going through. I'm like, I fucking love this.
Yeah, where it's intrigue done very well.
Yeah.
But the thing that is so cool about, at least, we'll just say Ari Aster films, is that they have such a good horror element to them, where
that's not in your face,
right? And in Beau is Afraid, it's like he did it so elegantly on top of the dark comedy,
tense situations,
where the tense stuff would be like, oh my god, like holy moly!
It was two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, 100%.
It was either okay. Or it was, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Jumps from like 2 to 10 or 11, like real quick.
Right. All right.
0
and
to
you don't know
100.
how it got there.
So
Real
if we
quick.
don't actually have a lot of gripes about the film, let's
None.
just do our final verdict, and then we can get into some spoilers.
Sure.
9 out of 10.
9
Damn.
out of 10.
Loved it. Yeah.
Listen, man, like I said, I'm not one of those people that was into suspenseful thriller mind-fucky movies. Now that I am, I loved it.
Fair enough. I mean,
it was a long movie.
It was
a
long movie.
late night, right?
True.
But guess what, bro? I did not feel tired.
No,
I was
it's
not-
hard, dude.
I was
it keeps going.
towards the end. I was like, okay, I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
But the first two hours,
First two acts
I was
are
locked,
strong.
bro. Locked.
For
I
me-
loved it.
For me, I love the movie, and personally, I'd like to give it a 9 or a 10. But like we've talked about the general audience score, or general audience intrigue, I don't know. It's like I give it like my personal score. Love it. I'm a 9 too, but that's the appreciation of the film. As far as average watcher, I'd probably say it's probably going to be more around the 6 range. Because
For an average watcher, they're not gonna.
I don't think they're going to be as into it.
I don't think they're gonna make it through the entire thing.
Right. Well, that's the thing. There might be enough intrigue in the first 2 acts to propel them through.
Let's say first 2 hours.
First 2 hours, each act, right?
You know what I mean?
But that's where I'm split. I'm split between a 9 and a 6 between those two.
So 7.5.
I would say you're probably at a 7 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess 7. So that's the problem. It's like I enjoyed the film and I love it. I loved it at 9. It was great.
I loved it the second time around as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was starting to see other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get when I get the spoilers. I'll say what my piece about things.
That
but-
9 means I'm watching it again.
Yeah,
It might not be this week.
Oh yeah. Right.
I'm watching it again. 100%.
For sure.
It's not. It's got rewatchability.
Yeah. Exactly.
it's-
exactly.
I'm watching this shit again.
Yeah, it's almost like a movie puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
get
like
you.
Cabinet of Curiosities, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What a show.
For sure. He's just going through cabinets.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah. You.
it's tough. Because I do find it, because I'm an Ari Aster fan, I want to give it a higher score, but I can't.
Sounds like
on
the same
bias.
predicament.
Based
Yeah,
on
well-
bias, kind of.
Well,
because
yeah,
you are
it's
that fan?
because
Yeah.
I want him to just make more films. I just think if he makes more films that are like this and beyond, I want him to. I'm in full support of that. But I think, man, I think the jarring thing, and honestly, really, even though I'm cool with it, but I think that time, man. I think that runtime, is long.
I
dude.
think that runtime was displayed very well, though. Like, if he has that kind of like mental thing, it takes him a minute to process. So at the same time, they're giving you that extra minute to be like, again, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
just remember the play.
But that's the thing is like, you're giving that audience member the time for that, but the audience member doesn't have the attention span to appreciate that anymore.
Attention span of a fucking zucchini.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. It like,
well, I don't know. I'm
not
not necessarily, because it could be that intriguing. I don't know. Looking at it, because it was for me.
At the same time, if somebody watches this trailer and they're like, "Yeah, that's not for me," they're never gonna watch it.
That's
right?
True.
Yeah.
If they are drawn into that, they are going to sit through it.
I think, to be
Best
honest,
part, they can pause it. They can go get a drink.
Yeah.
if you can make it through the first act, you're probably gonna finish the movie because you're just gonna want to see what's
happening.
Yeah. But I do think that the first act is so bluntly in your face that it is tough to make it through that. Like if you're a normie, like you know what I mean. So I think I'm gonna go with a 7 for my final verdict. It's not a bad movie. I really do enjoy this movie a lot. Do I like it better than Hereditary and Midsommar? I said it wrong. Midsommar. No. Do I like it better than Hereditary? No. The reason I like those two movies better is strictly just because they're a horror film.
Right.
Well, that and I give Midsommar a 10 out of 10.
That's a perfect horror movie for me.
And when people think horror, though, they think fucking blood, gore, guts, jump scares. This is a horror
like situational horror,
in your
emotional
fucking,
horror,
like in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So like people disassociate and think of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
But that shit is scary real. Hello, there's your horror right there.
But the thing is with Beau is that there are those horror nuggets in the film itself, and when they are present, it is so good. I mean, there were so many sequences in this film where I was so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah,
where I'm like screaming like, Beau, get out!
You gotta go, dude. Jump out the door.
And there was just the dialogue, the way it was written was beautiful. It's the way it ended was crazy. And just blunt in your face, like
no kidding.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
no fucking kidding.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it because when the first time I watched it, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Zen? And so like when I knew, and then it was like, "Yep."
Yeah,
that's the movie.
Crap,
we're over.
dude,
There's no post-credit scene. Like,
yeah, and so it's just I think 7. It's a very cool indie, interesting, dark comedy, horror, thriller, mind fuck of a movie.
100%.
Talk about a mind escape room.
Yeah. if you love Joaquin Phoenix and you're and like he is your movie star that you just watch all the movies that he's in, add this to your list.
Sure.
It's so good.
1000%.
So let's get into spoilers.
Spoiler time.
Motherfucking wee woo.
It's spoiler time. Get out now. If you're afraid of spoilers, run like Beau.
Yep. So again, if you guys, just another warning, if you guys don't want any spoilers, fast forward through this and then, come back and watch this part if you want to watch the movie.
Yeah.
And then want to talk spoilers with us or hear what we got to say, go ahead.
And if you do want to talk spoilers with us, you can always join our Discord.
Yeah. Hop in that new school.
Because if you guys have some theories, we want to hear them.
We want to hear
them. We want to compare notes.
Your interpretations.
We want to compare notes.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to hear other people's thoughts.
Get
So,
my brain meat's working, bro.
spoilers.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, let's hear your theory.
Well, okay.
You want to
So,
say that first?
I can.
With like the overall.
But for my
Everything.
theory of what overall is happening.
Yeah.
So, like, all right. Well, I guess to give a rundown for everybody else, like, you know, it starts off, he's talking with his therapist or whatever.
Yeah.
Mom calls, all this, and they're like, you know, scared about going back home. Of course, you know, he's like,
Making up an excuse.
yeah, right. Well, I mean,
That's what she thinks.
that's what she thinks.
Right,
I mean, he
right,
gets
right,
this
right.
medicine or whatever, and then that whole
Yeah.
like water scene, whatever. But the things that I was picking up on from there was the one thing that the doctor writes down on the paper. The only thing he writes down, guilty, right?
Yeah.
Right. I caught. That was on second watch. I was like, huh? And then when he's like, you know,
Shit,
have
you
you
got
seen?
me right now.
Are you scared about going to see you know your mom or whatever? And he's like, yeah, whatever. You know, it's been a while. And then the therapist goes, has it? And I was like, well, okay. Has it been a
What
while?
you mean, has it?
Right. So then whatever, gets his medicine, goes back home. He's taking that, right? Talks to his mom. I'm gonna leave. My keys get stolen and all this kind of stuff. Talks to his mom, goes through all that stuff, and I think it's the next day, right? He gets the phone call, or he calls, and the UPS guy picks up the phone. And he's like, I went in the house, you know, because there was a smell, the dog's barking or whatever. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. If the mom's head just got crushed by this chandelier or whatever, how is he talking to her a day before there's a smell, like decomposition and all this?
Rigor. All that.
Would be within 24 hours, you'd be smelling from outside? No, exactly.
Right.
So my theory is that he killed his mom like a week or so before, and he's repressing that this whole time. You go to the part where he's with the nurse lady and the doctor or whatever, staying at the house.
Right.
She has that note, stop incriminating yourself.
Yep. As
was
soon
like,
as
what?
As soon as you said the
Guilt-
therapist wrote down guilty, that's where my brain went immediately.
Yep.
He picks up the
The
coffee,
things. What do you
the
mean?
tea, whatever.
Yes. What do you mean? Stop incriminating myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? Is it? At the end, it's a courtroom. You had the defendant, prosecutor. The
Oh,
defendant gets
shit.
thrown on
Huh.
the whole time.
I didn't even think about
He's
that.
chained up,
Yeah.
whatever. He's like, I can't
Holy.
leave. He did it. He was being prosecuted. That whole thing is just him in
How
jail,
he
maybe. I
processed-
don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know
Yes.
all of the
Holy
traveling and all of that stuff. But I think that he killed his mom before anything happened, and he was repressing that, and
I
he was
also-
living. That's why she was dead, and then alive, and then
Now that you
dead
say that,
again.
Now that you say that, it makes me believe that the play was also court.
Yeah, it could have been a
And
hearing.
and
you
it's
know?
showing him everything that he's guilty of, not necessarily criminal.
But all his sin things, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Right.
that's the, when as soon as I saw him write, the only thing he wrote down was guilty, and that was shown on the paper, whatever. I was like, because I already knew about the court scene at the end.
Right.
So that's where I was like, wait a minute, and
got
then
me.
to stop incriminating yourself,
God-
it starts making sense, you know.
God damn it, Mike! you
So
got me.
that's my
You got me.
theory on
Cool.
it.
That's a cool
I can't
theory.
explain why he sees everything that he sees, and like the girl drinking the paint, and all this kind of stuff. I don't know.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, I know, but
As
like,
you-
as far as like, is this in the cell? Is that at mealtime? And he's seeing these things? Whatever. I don't know. But overall, I believe that he killed his mom beforehand, and that's when like he's found out, bro.
I'd be interested to see if there's a portion where he's looking at all the products that the mom's company has been a part of. Be
That
interested to
timeline.
see if paint was one of them.
Yeah.
Because that
Paint
could have
and then
just
the
been
razor?
a story that he read about or something like that, where it's like a family, like young
Oh,
teenage girl like drinks all this paint and they got sued over it or something like that.
Could be
Could be
on the
something
news
that-
or something
Right.
like that. Yeah.
It could be something like that.
And then you got
Don't
what
know.
was his name? Reggie.
Reggie. Yeah. Coming
He
at
said,
it.
well, they were talking. That family was talking about their son being a hero
Right.
and being in the military and stuff like that. And then you got him, Reggie, who technically they I guess they said he was.
Right.
He has the trailer. He's got the vest. He's got the gun, and he's they said he's a hero too. So like, wait, what?
Reggie is the guy who was the platoon leader of their son.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie killed
everybody,
their son and everybody else.
Maybe.
Well, right, yeah.
You're right. But then that also, like, the ankle monitor thing, incarcerated. You got
right,
just,
where he's
on house arrest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe he got out, and that was them coming, to get, I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, but overall, that's where I think
squad.
that this whole
maybe
thing
that's
is...
why the police officer was like, "Don't make me
do this,"
because
and-
he is like,
I
"Dude,
think-
you killed your mom. You're crazy."
I think that was more along the lines that he was butt ass naked,
Well, yeah,
and
but maybe
that
he's
dude-
butt ass naked that killed his mom in the chandelier.
Is he the birthday stabber, naked guy
no,
stabber?
Oh, shit.
because he
Maybe.
got stabbed by the naked birthday guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, but he could have did it himself.
Yeah,
Fuck,
maybe.
you're right.
But yeah, it's like, again, it's not a. This
So many
explains everything
theories.
out of it.
So
but
many
that was
theories,
some things that
so
I
many
picked up
dicks.
on that. Yeah, there was a lot of.
I'm gonna say this.
Again, that's where I can't explain.
My man's
Dick
nutsack.
Monster. Oh yeah. It was
This fucking
it was,
big.
One of them.
One.
One testicular was this big.
I loved how you said
That shit was so
you were like,
fucking funny.
his nuts are so big, and the next line was like, he's got a problem with his nuts. They're really big.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, it's just
Oh,
it's
well,
part of the
I mean,
plot, bruh.
Dude, you're filming Joaquin Phoenix going, like with his dangles.
Imagine you had a testicle this fucking big,
Yeah,
bro.
my dude's got beanbags the
feel how
size of
heavy this
grapefruits.
is.
Bags.
Yeah, dude.
We
My
think I
man's
got the
back.
idea for a chair, dude. Have you seen South Park?
Good Lord, my dude
Just out
finishes.
there,
It's
just-
like a 50 caliber bullet going through a wall. Like, it's like, it's crazy, dude. I mean, yeah. So that's another thing in this movie that kind of like didn't make it decrease the score, but you got to include that with your review where it's like, there's a lot of dicks in this movie.
There's two dicks
Yeah, but well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of time
Read
in your
with
face.
dicks on
Screen.
But yeah, with the screen
Yes.
and the dicks. And,
Big one.
there's one massive one. That might be. That's not as big as the dick that we've seen in The Boys.
That's true.
But that's because we
Jesus.
were shrunk down. But I gotta say, I mean,
I
that
thought you
was
were
a
talking about the one
massive
that-
dick.
I thought you were talking about the one that gets 12 foot long.
Well, that one's huge too,
12
but that one's
This
like
just
long.
feet.
This one's girthy.
Filled that whole attic up.
Yeah.
That's a big old wiener.
So one scene I want to talk
Why
about.
he's got huge balls.
I mean, well, yeah, we'll talk.
And
We'll
he's
talk
got
about
the
that real
biggest
quick. I don't
balls
understand
of
that
them
at all. Like he went up in the attic,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just like a huge dick monster with like spike hands. That like Reggie comes up,
T-Rex
just
arms.
trying to like kill it. Shoot it!
At the
it
same
shoots it in the
time-
balls, and it just kills it.
At the same time, there's another dude up there.
Well, no, that's
That's
him.
him though. That was him chained up.
Remember, his mom
His
kept
brave
putting him up
self.
in the attic.
That was his
dude,
emaciated brave self.
Yeah, that was the
are fucking my brain.
well because
Yeah.
in the dream,
great.
in the dream, that version or whatever that
Yeah.
that brave self of him
Dissociated
that
self.
persona.
starts
Persona.
asking about his dad and everything, and she goes, "No, you're going up in the attic." So whenever,
Dissociative identity disorder.
yeah, whenever he would do that to his mom, she would lock him up in the attic instead of just taking a bath.
So him in the bath, like the point of view was not real.
Right.
Yeah, and him going up there, he saw the his ability to be brave was like emaciated.
yeah.
Words are hard. But yeah, so it's like things like that where I
damn
caught
you.
that. But the dick monster, I'm like,
What the fuck?
what the
Yeah.
hell is that? And then his mom's like, that was your father. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
what?
Hang on a second.
Exactly.
How did you fit?
Right. Yeah. Well, I thought he
Bro.
was dead.
This thing was
a
the
big
size
dick
of a
monster,
goddamn
dude.
oak tree, bro.
It was a big attic.
about
I mean,
Girth.
Good Lord.
It was an
but,
alien.
yeah. So yeah, I can't explain.
Yeah.
Definitely can't explain.
Unexplainable.
I'm sure there is a symbolism involved or something. Not sure.
Another scene I need to talk about is when Beau makes a bath for himself He's in a bath. He's just heard about his mom getting killed
by a chandelier.
by a
Decapitated.
chandelier, and he's processing it. He's crying. He's super emotional. The camera's like focusing on his head, and something drips on him, and
Sweat.
and he's crying and everything, and then he drips on him again, and he looks up, and there's a fucking guy in the ceiling going, please help me, please.
Get me out of here.
This scene is the Ari Aster that I know, where
What
it's
the fuck?
the music that's playing is like whirring.
Tense.
It's like I'm like, oh my god, and it's just focusing on Joaquin, focusing on him, on the guy in the ceiling, focusing on Joaquin, focusing on and I'm like, he is not gonna fall, dude. And they keep showing his foot like slipping. And I'm like, no, don't fall. And then they fall and Joaquin,
And then the spider comes out. That's
the
what it is.
recluse,
Brown
the brown recluse.
Got him.
And it's just, I mean, that scene I was literally like jumping out of my seat, like, get out of there. Like, I just, that was horrifying.
Could that
to
have
me.
been a potential bunkmate of a cell above him? Like, yeah,
Could have been that, or could have been another personality.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. Like, it
Don't know.
Could have been his
Unexplained.
panicked personality, just being.
I
like,
can't wait
you
to
know.
watch people's theories. I want to see.
Yeah, there's
Like
lots
I
to
saved
break
myself
down.
from it
I really want to see other people's theories on this. To be honest,
Yeah.
because there's so many ways that you can interpret things.
right?
Um,
You say
I say it's jail
you
stuff,
say
man.
this is repressed memories and whatnot, and how he keeps it in. I say the same thing you said: schizophrenia and the dissociative identity disorder.
Well, yeah,
So,
I'm
like,
thinking it's a combination. Like, he's got
right,
all that,
right?
But,
Exactly. I wasn't thinking of repressed memories at the time, though.
well,
Now-
of course, that's what just. Hey,
Yeah.
but
now
I don't know.
you,
I could be
now
wrong.
you done got me fucked up.
Could be right. Could be half right. Don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
Never go full retard.
Never.
And
Never go
also,
full
the
schizo.
one sex scene in this was hilarious. Have
Yes.
Mariah Carey playing in the background, and then you think,
Hey, at least we saw boobs in comparison to the three cocks that we saw in this movie.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah, but I mean, it was
Lame.
crazy. I mean, like the sex scene, she dies with a heart murmur, where you're like, oh shit, I thought Beau was about to die
Right.
of a heart murmur, and then she just gets like big time rigor mortis. I'm like, god damn,
Immediate.
Yeah.
Immediate.
like yikes, and then they just carry her ass out. Yep.
I thought he was supposed to be stiff, not you.
And dude, the very end of the movie, Beau's in a boat and he's like in the middle of this courtroom thing in the middle of the water trying to defend himself and shit. And shit's just you just know it's going crazy, and then they just things underneath of him just flip the boat and he just drowns
He's
to
done.
death and he's just dead. And it's like, and then the movie ends and it's wild
Fade to
because
black.
it's like they show the audience that is sitting there watching all of this happen get up and start to leave. I can't even imagine to know what it felt like to see that in the theater, and you're doing that
Yeah.
to Beau as well.
Right. You're getting up. He's gone. He's in the system.
Like
now. He's out.
just the meta of that happening.
Damn the both of
That's
you.
the
Yeah.
Well, that's
That-
the first
you're-
thing I thought of when the ending came out. I'm like, that's the fucking end, dude. And we're about to turn the movie. We're doing
Doing
the
the
same
same thing.
thing. Like it was just a very interesting way to end the film. And I was like,
Yep.
wow, Ari Aster, like that is so crazy. What a way to end that. And like,
y'all got me fucked up today.
but like that's what I'm saying. In the theater, though, that would have been such a cool experience to get up out of our seat and go, well, it's over. Like, let's
Well,
get
I mean,
outta
but
here.
it's the same for court. Like, if you went to the courtroom to
Yeah,
see court,
it's
guilty.
over.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, we're done here. Everybody
Go out.
get
They haul him away, and it's done.
Yeah, and
Done and dusted.
dude. I mean, it was a wild ride. I mean, Beau, after we watched it, I was like so indifferent with how I thought. Like, but I just it was so much to process. But it was a
for sure.
fun watch, man. It really was. It was a fun, wild ride. And A24 just never seems to have like a big L under its belt. Like even their like mid movies are like better movies to me.
I
Like
need to
even
watch
Bodies. So, but
I need
yeah.
to watch more. What are your other recommendations from A24?
Um,
Obviously, besides the ones that I've personally already seen.
a really good one with Rob Patterson
I think you've done this with me before,
probably.
but I do not remember what they are.
Anybody that wants to watch A24 films, if you want to get introduced to them, I'll give you 5. You've seen probably most of them, but
Okay.
Hereditary,
Yes.
Midsommar,
Fantastic.
I would say Lighthouse,
Yep.
Damn
it.
I would say
I've
The
seen
Green Knight is another really, really good one.
You liked that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I would say Good Times. Good Times with Rob Patterson is probably one of the best A24 films I've ever seen.
Do you know what that's streaming on? Or I mean, I could probably.
I think you can get it on
I
Amazon.
could probably just find
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can find it
Yeah.
somewhere too, but it is
Good
very
Times.
good. That entire film was made by 2 people, and one of them is acting in it with Rob Patterson. He is also holding the boom mic while they're acting. It's
Get
literally
the fuck out of here. No
I'm
way.
dead ass. It's crazy. All their scenes are filmed in New York, and they didn't have the budget to buy out like anywhere, like time, like anywhere in New York that they filmed. Nobody knew that they were like really
Go to
being
Rotten
filmed.
Tomatoes real quick, Mike. It's right. Yeah.
Good time.
I want to see what these. Oh my god.
It's an incredible
Like-
film.
Yeah.
Imagine there are quote unquote indie studios making 91 and 82%
Well,
Rotten Tomatoes score films, and these big ass 36 million fucking bajillion dollar movies are getting a 30.
well,
Like
the
this
the one dude that I'm talking about that acts alongside of him, he ended up getting a part in Andor, and I'm pretty sure that he's also in Oppenheimer as well. Like he's doing really well.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, this was like one of their first films that
What is
was
this?
like big length.
Can I ask you what this is about?
It's about 2 brothers that basically have nothing. They're trying to kind of make it out of the system. One of the brothers is on the spectrum, and they both like kind of do, for the lack of a better term, like fucked up shit to get money to afford things and stuff like that. It's pretty much the experience of that.
Okay.
Rob
All right.
Patterson is
All right.
is the like know-it-all dropout flunky ass brother that's making his good brother who's on the spectrum also do bad things, and his good brother is trying to talk to a therapist about it and stuff.
Oh shit. Jesus.
Gotcha.
It's really good.
I'm watching this shit.
It has one scene that's a little risque.
Okay.
In the sense of like just
Does it have dicks in it?
no, but it does it.
I don't need a huge dick monster at the end of this fucking movie.
There's
dude.
one intimate scene with Robert Patterson and another actress that is like, what? So
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
but all in all,
I love the
fantastic film.
Cool.
I would highly recommend checking that out. But yeah, I mean, like if you haven't seen The Green Knight as well, I know you didn't really like it, but
I wasn't that big of a fan. I don't think it was a bad film.
No, it's not.
Right.
It's a beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful film. I
I have
mean,
not
it
seen
is.
that
Oh my god, you would
Talk
you
about
would-
another. For me personally, very, very slow burn.
slow burn.
Very slow.
Slowbird's cool.
It's
Not as slow of a burn as Dune though. Part 1.
yeah. It's
That was just a long.
I still have to
slow
watch
burn.
that's a Green Knight though is a very artistic film
Yes.
where they have just beautiful sets in it, and very trippy sequences in it as well. It's also the old folklore tale of King Arthur's
Yeah.
nephew.
Okay.
And
It was good. Like we were just talking about. We both watched it. I wasn't a huge fan. Was it bad? Absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Absolutely not. Not
Check it
not
out.
for me.
A24.
Not for me.
it's another mindfuck movie.
Yes.
Fair enough.
But just based in like medieval
I
times.
think I should watch it again. Then.
I
To be
think
honest.
I don't know. Like that's one that I feel like you went into with an open mind as well.
Way
and you
open.
just and
I didn't have a clue.
yeah, and
what
there
to
was just
expect.
some things that happen in there that are also jarring, and you're just like, damn, what the hell? Like, yeah, like there's.
I guess
there's
Yeah.
another intimate scene in The Green Knight where it's very awkward.
I'll
like,
tell you
it's
what.
very very
I
awkward.
don't remember a thing from that movie.
Oh wow,
None.
yeah.
That's why I say I think I gotta watch it again. To be
Get
honest,
to see spoilers. Get to see some jizz in that. In that.
this should be on fucking xnxx.com,
I was
man.
gonna say it's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's
Now
pretty
streaming on OnlyFans.
Yeah. But
Wow.
no, Green Knight, I just, if you got like, I think it's like 2 hours, 20, something like that. If you got that time to kill, throw it on. It's a good watch. So
I think
Sounds like a
I think I'm gonna
superhero
watch
movie.
Good Time before I watch Green Knight again.
yeah.
But-
If you haven't seen Good Time, I would highly recommend that movie
Yeah.
too. I
There
mean,
you
I watched that movie and I was like, God damn, that was good. It was
Time.
really
It was a
fun.
good
It was a
time.
good time. Yeah. So especially
You
for the
might
budget that they
also
made all that shit on, it was just so wild. Like it was like guerrilla filming, like because they would film in New York and people would see them filming, but they didn't. Like it was just like everybody does that type of shit in New York. So you see people literally look at the camera and be like, "What the fuck?"
Okay, you do, yeah.
You know, but they use that as like Rob Patterson's perspective of people like looking at him. It's
Right.
like, oh, dude, it's so cool.
Nice.
Very cool film.